Good morning, everybody. What is going on today? Happy Friday. I ain't seen or talked to you guys in forever, it feels like. So I'm back, baby. I'm back. If you can see behind me, I got the boat in tow. I fished Lake Ontario this morning. I launched out of Mexico Point. I was going bass fishing, and I did end up doing a little salmon fishing. I didn't bring any trolling stuff. Fish were right in front. I was looking over in front of Selkirk Shores for bass, for smallmouth, and there were just salmon jumping everywhere. So I spot locked for, almost 2 hours. Threw everything in the kitchen sink at them. Saw a couple of charter boat friends of mine fishing right there. It was high, flat, calm, and sunny, and those salmon didn't want to know nothing. But it wasn't for lack of trying. I threw everything under the sun at them, and I'm watching them on live scope, and they'll follow it for a little while, and then they just peel off. They don't have any interest. But it was very cool to see them all on live scope. I mean, it's one thing to see a walleye or a bass or something small relatively on the screen. It's another thing altogether to see an adult king salmon or a school of them swimming around in 15 foot of water. Like at times I had 10 to 20 in groups milling around together. So it was cool. It was a lot of fun. I had one, I don't know whether I ran into him or he ran into me. I did have a split second where I had contact with one. Line came tight, rod started to go like that. One click of the drag, like that, came off the drag, and that was it. And that was it for me today. I met somebody at the ramp this morning. I'd met him before over at Dick's in Clay. I saw his name written on his boat. Cade? I think it was Cade. Nice young man. Excellent fisherman. He found the smallies this morning. I left him and went out deeper. Last I talked to him here just before I came in, he'd had almost 25 pounds of smallmouth for his best 5. So he found some shallower early on a point, on a deep point. So they were there. I don't know if I'll go back up there or not tomorrow. We're supposed to have this same kind of weather for until the end of the month. So it's high, stable, clear, little wind. It couldn't have been more beautiful on Lake Ontario this morning. I mean, in all honesty, it's probably not optimal conditions to be out there, but optimal conditions are for most of us, are for when you can get a chance to go. And I've been so busy with work this last month that I haven't fished much. I haven't been on a NIDA in a month. That will change shortly. I'm not in any great rush to get back out there. I know what's there. I've been trying to spend what time I do have fishing lately to get up either the St. Lawrence or here. I did a Tisco once. I'll probably do a Tisco again, but not for another month maybe, when it really starts to cool down. Water temperature up here on Lake Ontario was 68 degrees still on the surface. I talked to friends of mine, I said, that have the charters, Strike Zone charters, the Shelter Brothers. And they said that, and they were fishing, everybody's combat fishing right now because that big wind last weekend flipped the lake over, and we had ice water, and now this whole end of the lake's just full of bath water. And he told me on the east end that there was no temp down as deep as 200 feet. Down 200, it was still in the 60s. I did hear from somebody else that they found some cold water off Oswego for all of you salmon fishermen. But it shouldn't have affected the bass. Although I say that, and it flooded that whole end. I had fish this morning out in 50 on the base of a drop off where it went to sand again. They were in 50, 55, bellies on the bottom. I put drop shots on their head and a couple other things, but I didn't get them to go. but doesn't mean they couldn't have. You never know until you try it. So, but I don't think I'm at a point where I'll be back every day yet. I've got a lot of work coming up. I wasn't able to start anything this week. Hopefully next week I will. There's a chance that, I don't feel like I'm missing anything yet. For Oneida anyway, I love when it starts getting cold. And depending on the kind of fall and winter we have, last year I was out there all the way until the middle of January before I had to pull the boat the first time when it skimmed over. So I don't know what kind of winter we're going to have this year, but we'll play it by ear as it comes. And the colder that water gets, all the way down into the high 30s on Oneida anyway, and every place else, these fish really start to feel that yearly push where they've got to get fattened up, and we're still, this is an Indian summer. Again, we got temps in the 80s, overnights in the 50s, daytime in the 80s. It's going to be beautiful. Let's just ride out the rest of September and fish when we can, where we can. But things will start getting hot and heavy soon. Have some very exciting I swear, nobody can just mind their own business. I'm driving down the road and this lady's telling me to slow down. I'm doing 35 in a 35 mile an hour zone. She's walking on the side of the road. I went all the way into the other lane to not be anywhere near. And then when I don't do what she says, because somehow she thinks I'm obligated, then as I'm going by her just now, she's over on this side of me, waving her arms, and I'm surprised she didn't flip me off. That's usually what happens next. I just love how people just want to impose their will on everybody else around them and then get just infuriatingly mad when you don't do what they say. Who are you? But anyway, that was a little side note because it just happened out my window, and I'm like, that gets me. That bothers me. Anyway, that's long enough for today. Thank you, everybody. I will definitely be back out this weekend. Again, it's just too beautiful not to. So I'll be out again this weekend, and we'll go from there and see what happens. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Great Friday. Oh, and if you're a Miami Dolphins fan like I am, we need a new quarterback. I have been in Tua's camp since he was in college, and since the Dolphins said publicly that they were going to wait for him and hold off on any picks until he came out and was available. He seems like an exceptionally nice young man that's got a bright future ahead of him. I just don't think it's in playing football. Maybe he'll go into coaching. Who knows? He suffered his third concussion last night against the Bills. The Bills, who, I don't like the Bills. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm not going to root for the Bills under any circumstance. They took it to us last night. They were up 24-10 at halftime. It ended up 31-10. All the Bills fans are going to pile on me, which is great. You guys won. I'd pile on you if we won. But for all my fellow friends out there watching this, like me, that are Dolphins fans, it's time we move away from Tua. For his own sake. This is his third concussion now. He's been in the league, 4 years? Or something like that. I don't want to see the young man get hurt to the point where it diminishes the rest of his life. And not to mention, the greatness that he had in college has not translated to the NFL. He has not won a big, meaningful game in his NFL career. Last year, we beat up on all the bad teams and lost to every team with a winning record. To include our first round exit from the playoffs, once again, we lost to the Chiefs, but still. So, little bummed out. Over last night's game. I turned it off in the second half because you could tell what was going to happen. There was no big come back like against the Jags, because it wasn't the Jags we were playing, it was the Bills. And the Bills looked good, and they ran the ball right down our throat, and kudos to the Bills. Maybe you can go to a 5th Super Bowl and lose that one too. Sorry, that wasn't very nice. But good win for the Bills, bad loss for the Dolphins, and I hope our team goes in a different direction. Even if it's a veteran quarterback right now, is a stopgap. We've got enough weapons. We just need a distributor. Maybe they could come in and take Kyle McCord from SU. Boy, wouldn't that be nice to see him go to the Dolphins? At least for me. And lastly, real quick, because I'm getting long-winded, to everybody that put up a comment yesterday, I posted a picture, and Courtney put a picture up of the old boat, my Gramps' old boat. Yesterday was that boat's last day. I brought it back to the house where I had been storing it for the last year. I brought it back to the house. I took everything out that I needed to take out of it. I took the motor mount bracket off the back of it. I'm going to sell that. I've got some chairs and pedestals that are like brand new from the inside that I'm going to sell. I'll have some stuff up maybe over the weekend, a bunch of fishing stuff that I have that's just laying around that I'd like to get rid of, and some rods and stuff, like some old rods. So stay tuned for that. But as far as the boat goes, yesterday was a very, 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 I didn't expect it. It was a very emotional day for me. When I got that boat home yesterday and started taking it apart, it felt like I was saying goodbye to my grandpa all over again. And the emotions poured out of me all day. It was an emotionally draining day for me yesterday, internally. And this morning I was still in that same kind of funk. And I told myself out loud, I talked to myself on the way up to the lake this morning. I said, Matt, stop it. Stop it. You know, I started thinking about the boat, because I took it to it's gone. I took it to the dump, the transfer station over in Bristol Hill in Volney, here in Oswego County, takes them and they crush them up. They take old boat hulls, and I had to get rid of it. It had re-rotted after all the work I did, and I spent over a year working on that boat to bring it back to life. 2 motors, endless amount of other issues, but it was a labor of love, because that was the boat I grew up on. That was the boat I had spent all my lifetime as a child with my grandfather fishing in. I love that boat, and even now that I have 2 lifetimes worth of memories from that boat. And when my deal came for my new boat, and when that old motor on the old boat crapped out again for the umpteenth time, and I had issue after issue after issue for the umpteenth time, that's when I said, and I talked to my grandpa that day before I made the decision to buy the new boat. And I told him, and he loves the new boat. I mean, my grandpa's passed away, but I talk to him all the time, and I just know that he's with me every day when I'm in my new boat. He's with me no matter where I am. And he was a practical, logical man, and that boat was a 1977, and I did my best. I worked so hard on it to bring it back to life, and I did. And I got 3 solid, not trouble-free years, but I got 3 years out of it. I got 3 years out of it that changed my life, that started my YouTube channel with that old boat, that garnered so much attention and so many follows by so many people, and had so many people come fish with me in that boat and make more memories. My wife's PB smallmouth and walleye, and my PB smallmouth were all in that boat. But yesterday I took it over there. I'd stripped everything out of it. Everything was delaminated again, and the whole floor was rotted out of it. And I finally said goodbye to it yesterday, and it was hard for me. It was so emotional. I was in tears all day, because, like I say, a boat or anything that's a memento of somebody really isn't a memento. It's your memory. It's your heart. It's your mind. People live on in those places tangibly, but in a physical entity like the boat, or like, I have so much of my Gramps stuff still in my garage that has just sat there since the day he died. And it's not stuff that I would use, but it was his. And so I've struggled mightily to get rid of it and weed through it and not just hold on to it, because I'm holding on to the past for no other reason than to hold on to it. And it's not benefiting me. It's not making things better. It doesn't ease that pain of loss for me. Matter of fact, a lot of times it just simply amplifies it, and it keeps that memory. And for me, those memories like that make me sad, not because they're sad memories, because I miss him so much. And that's just me and who I miss, and everybody has that person in their life. It's just the inevitability of our life on this planet. It's such a crazy construct idea that we're here and then we're not, and there's a famous line from a Grateful Dead song that's now I won't be able to think of it, but we're only here for a short time and we're gone for a long time. We're gone for eternity and we're only here for a short time. And I miss him. I miss him. And I don't want to say I would do anything to have him back, because that's not healthy for me, and it's an impossibility. So it wouldn't matter what I would be willing to give. No amount of anything that we could give to any unseen entity can bring that back, that person, that thing. But in our heart and mind, we can remember him. And I had to let go of the boat, that even though it had been sitting there for a year, at least I knew it was still there. But I woke up yesterday morning like a switch had flipped for me, and I said, I got to go get rid of it. I got to get it taken care of and get it off my plate and out of my life and aura, and just close the book on it. And I did that yesterday. And I know a lot of people, the post I put up was ambiguous at best. And a lot of people, I think, probably got excited about, hey, what are you doing with your boat back? What are you going to fix it up again? No, I'm not. It's gone forever. It's not coming back. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as of this morning. I'm okay with that. I struggled yesterday. I wouldn't even turn around after they pulled it off the trailer at the landfill yesterday. I wouldn't even turn around and look at it there. Because that's not my memory of it, and I don't want that to be my memory of it. My memory of it is racing around the lake or the river, being with people that I like and love, and sharing time together in that boat will be things I'll never ever forget. And I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so grateful for all of you that cared enough to make a nice comment it was a great boat. It was a great boat, and it lived a great life. It was loved and cared for and brought back to life, and it's past. And I'm okay with that. And I don't normally say that about anything, because I have a terrible, terrible time letting things go. But I feel better. I feel better. So thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And we'll move forward together. Have a great day. And keep your tip up. As you're rolling through this life of ours, be present. Talk yourself out of stuff if you need to. Out of negative stuff. Be kind to yourself. That sounds strange. Usually people say be kind to others. Be kind to strangers. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself first, and let that kindness radiate out of you. People will come to that light. and they'll be kind to you in return. So I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great, great day. Keep your tip up.